bienvenidos to Pica Poco Kitchen. Today we're making Tejuino, a drink for the cats. Vámonos! The heat is full on here in Virginia, so we have to stay hydrated. And what better way to do it if not with a drink that will provide that, but also bring a lot of health benefits. I'm a big fan of kombucha, and Tejuino is another fermented drink with similar benefits, but in the Mexican tradition. For years and years, ancient civilizations found ways to preserve their food. One of them was fermentation. The Nahua and the Purépecha people used this technique to preserve their corn, and that is the base for many drinks that we enjoy still today. By fermenting corn, we create an environment that produces beneficial bacteria, which will give you gut health, will it boost your immune system, and lower the risk of heart disease. And talking about hearts, Tejuino gets its name from the Nahua word tequin, which means beating heart. And that was most likely given because Tejuino was a drink reserved for ceremonies to honor the gods, which probably require a longer fermentation, which produced a higher level of alcohol. And most likely that's when they started feeling their hearts beat. Besides the health benefits, the tradition, Tejuino is a delicious and refreshing drink, and I'm really happy to share with you today. Let's go! To make this drink, we need to start with the corn, which is going to come in the form of masa. So I have 1 cup of masa harina plus 1¼ cups of warm water that I'm going to put together and make my own corn masa. I'll be following the most common and simple way to make tejuino at home. There are other ways where you let this same masa ferment between 3 to 5 days on their own, and then you proceed with the next steps. But I'm going the easy and fast route. For the caramel, I'll be dissolving in 2 cups of water 1 piece of piloncillo, which is 8 ounces. If you like your tejuino sweeter, you can add 2 pieces if that's what you want. This time there is no better substitution than piloncillo. Nothing is going to give you the same flavor profile. Remember that piloncillo is the rawest form of sugar there is. It is basically cane sugar juice that is extracted and then cooked over a long time until it reduces. Another important element is going to be the lime, so squeeze 2 limes and give it a mix. You will be able to adjust the tartness of your drink later. And now we can go back to the masa. Here's my masa that has been resting while the piloncillo was ready. And I am going to dissolve it in a little bit of water using the blender. I'm going to do it in 2 batches. So I'm gonna grab half of the dough, break it apart, and put it in my food processor with ½ cup of water. So I'm gonna add half of the masa plus ½ cup of water each time. I do it in 2 parts to make sure that the masa is going to be completely dissolved. Sometimes if you do it all at once, you will find little pieces of masa that didn't get dissolved. Now we're coming back to our caramel, and I'm turning the heat back on. I will pour my entire masa slurry and give it a good mix. In the beginning, maintain a continuous stir over medium heat. You won't see any changes in the beginning, but the higher the temperature of your tejuino gets, the thicker it will become. The masa will act as a thickening agent. At this point, we can add a little bit of salt. I like to add just 1/4 teaspoon of salt to balance the flavors. Give it a mix and be patient. Little by little, you'll see and feel how the tejuino thickens. It is important to constantly stir because in the beginning, the thickening will happen at the bottom of the pan. So if you don't stir that around, you can burn the bottom and then your tejuino will taste a little bit burnt. So keep stirring and you can see already how it thickens. But we won't stop here until we start to see big bubbles appear. So at this point, you can stir less frequently and let the reaction happen. Once the bubbles become bigger, you can turn the heat off, give it a last stir, and check the consistency. At this point, we will make sure that the cooking of the corn will start hydrolyze as many sugars and starches as it can find. So now it's time to wait. Leave it in your counter, cover with a tea towel, and maybe later with a lid on your counter overnight. After waiting for 24 hours, you will find that your tejuino is completely congealed. This process is called retrogradation. As it cools down, all the dispersed starch molecules begin to form some sort of web or network, which trap the water, creating this firm gel substance. We're gonna break this down and bring it to the blender. To bring it back to a smoother texture, I'm gonna add 2 cups of water and take it to the blender. This particular fermentation process brings out lactic acids and acetic acids. They both play an important part in the flavor of tejuino. The lactic acids will give it a smooth yogurt kind of tang flavor, while the acetic acid is going to bring a little bit of a sharper bite. That's why it goes well with lime as well. Make sure to serve and let it rest over a lot of ice. And here we have it. Traditionally, tejuino is served with lime sorbet. I don't have lime sorbet, but I have lime lolly, and that's how I'm gonna have it. It is also traditional to put Tajín on it. And believe it or not, Tajín helps with dehydration. It is sweet and a little bit tart, but my favorite part is the texture. It feels creamy and it gives a nice feeling in the mouth. For me, because I am used to these flavors, it feels familiar. It reminds me of atole, champurrado. It gives that feeling, but in a refreshing way. Don't stop just right here. I have a chickified version of this drink that you can do if you are an adult. Just like tejuino, we have many other drinks. Some alcoholic, some with cocoa beans. So let me know if you're interested in seeing those too. For now, I hope you stay hydrated and stay safe in this heat. I hope you enjoyed this recipe just like this video, and if you did, please share with your friends. Like, subscribe, and be notified. And for more, follow me on the socials. Adios, amigues.